Hey guys, let's make some floats. I started by cutting basic shapes out of high density insulation foam I had lying around. You need a really sharp knife for this stage and it takes a little bit of practice, so I'd recommend just practice making basic shapes until you can get it right. I then glued some sandpaper to a flat piece of plywood that I had, just for a flat working surface to turn the rods. It was mainly for the rods this stage, just to get those nice spherical edges and a nice straight rod out of the foam. So yeah, quick tip is when the sandpaper gets very clogged up and dirty with the foam, as it will if you're using foam, you can use one of these. Well, I'm using a pipe cleaner, but you can use also a fine wire brush or anything that's soft enough to not scrape all the sand off the paper and also hard enough to get the little bits out of the cracks. After refining the basic shapes to a little bit more of a recognisable float shape with the flat sandboard, I actually had to go and buy some new sandpaper because I realised I didn't have any. And once I'd done that, then I started doing the more precision sanding with a light sandpaper. This is actually sandpaper for wood, but it works just fine. Cup your hand like this and just slowly, with a lot of patience, you'll get some nice round shapes. Once I had the shapes I liked, I moved on to the trickiest step which is poking the holes all the way through. I used a very sharp meat skewer. Now, this is another part that takes a lot of practice, and I would recommend you do it on just basic pieces of foam that you haven't spent a lot of time on shaping, because it can just rip through them. And I do it with a twisting motion, just slowly twist the pole, and eventually it'll go all the way through. Once you've got the holes made, then you can stick something a bit thicker through it, I've used also meat skewers, but these are wooden, kind of slightly thicker wooden meat skewers that you'll find in any hardware store or supermarket. After I'd secured the sticks with classic schoolroom stick glue, any kind of wood glue or modelling glue is fine. Do not use any solvent glue like super glue. I know there's a super glue tub here. Do not use any solvent glue, it will just melt straight through the foam. I'm sure most people who've worked with foam before will know that. I also want to give a disclaimer here that this takes a lot of practice, and this is probably my 10th set of floats that I've made, and it's the first one that's come out nice enough that I've actually been confident to post a video about. It takes a lot of practice, trial and error, until you get it right. It's quite a fiddly work. If you're using cork, I've used raw cork before, it's quite a bit easier because you can use solvent glues, you can use solvent paint, which dries quicker, blah 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 blah. But yeah, with foam, it's quite fiddly. So I just give that disclaimer here. After I put the sticks in, I'm just refining the shape a little bit more to get them symmetrical, because they're not all super symmetrical. Just disclaimer, lots of patience, and eventually you'll get it right. So for the first layer of paint I used for the base white, I'm just using this interior-exterior water-based paint. And obviously before, you should always do this, any paint that you have, even if you think it's fine, do a test, find a little bit of scrap foam that you're using, and just paint a good solid layer of the paint that you want to use on it first, and leave it for about 10 minutes. To make sure that it doesn't foam. You see here, this is after about 10 minutes, you can see that there's no bulging, there's no shrinkage, nothing, so it's not dissolving the foam. So we're good to go. We can start painting them. So I normally just give them a good, and as well I've used a very fine head brush. It's a very soft brush, because then you get a nice thick layer of paint on at once, so you don't have to do lots of layers. A nice fine soft brush is a really good idea, because that'll let you get the paint on there. And you can see here I am generally just giving it a good slathering and getting the first white layer on. It's all going to be covered afterwards anyway. After covering all of them in a good thick layer of white paint, the way I dried them is I hung them above my gas heater in my garage, not directly above the flame because that'll melt them, but just so they get hit by the nice warm air, and that'll dry them very quickly. And yeah, this is them all finished, and we're going to move on to the tips. To make the tips, I'm using just your everyday modelling clay. This is probably not the best material, and afterwards I did have a few little cracks and fissures in the clay because of the way it dries with the paint underneath, but it does the job. You could probably use maybe quick dry modelling clay. I'm sure there's 100 different products that would work much better than just your classic. This is technically white terracotta modelling clay, but yeah, there's probably better things you could use. And this is what they look like when they're all finished. Yeah, this is another part that's a bit finicky and takes trial and error, just a bit of practice, and eventually you'll get some nice shapes out of it. I dried these for 24 hours before painting them. I would recommend you do at least 2 days to get them fully dried, because I had some cracks afterwards. Now, the colour paint. I've chosen to go with a white and gold tone for most of them, and you can see the black and blue for the other one. This is all up to you. Just do however you want. It's a bit of an art form. People have been doing it for hundreds of years, and it's all up to you. As well, the high visibility parts, this I've just done with fluorescent paint. You can buy anywhere fluorescent paint, and yeah, some tape, and just make nice little lines. This is all user choice. However you want to do it, you did it right. So the eyes I made out of just your everyday wire, which I kind of wrapped over the same meat skewer you can see in my hand, and then pinched the other side with pliers just to get the nice little neck and loop kind of look there with the perpendicular ends. Once you've got that done, you can just, with a little dab of super glue, on this bit's fine to use super glue because it's nowhere near the foam, you can just super glue the things on there, and then I wrapped them with thin gauge mono fishing line, just for a little bit of extra strength. You could probably get away with just gluing them, but it's fine. Once I secured the eyes, I just gave them a couple of layers of black paint, just to also more securing, and just for the aesthetic look. You can use any colour you want, it's all up to you. After letting the eyes dry, I strung them onto this piece of bent wire that I'd set up to keep them separated, that I just clipped onto a shelf above my workbench, and I moved on to the resin. This is just a Part B, Part A resin. I think it's 10 to 6 parts, so it's a little bit more finicky, but you've got these little tips on these bottles here, which are really useful to measure out small amounts in small cups like this. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you're starting and you don't have a lot of experience with measuring it out, just get some little squeezy bottles like that. You catch little ketchup bottles, and they'll make it much easier to do small amounts. I think I did, that was 1.6 grams, so 1 gram of A and 6 grams, or 0.6 grams of B. I did 3 layers of epoxy in total. I did 2 of that one, the AB epoxy, and I did 1 layer at the end of just 50/50 epoxy, which is more accessible and cheaper, I think, than the more advanced stuff. So this is them after 2 layers of epoxy. I left each layer to dry for 24 hours, and this is them as a finished product with 3 layers of epoxy on them. I'm very happy with the way they came out. I will do a video soon of me actually using them and testing them out, try and catch some fish with them. But yeah, if you do like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like and maybe subscribe to the channel to see more videos, and give us a comment if you do like this type of video. I'll do more. I've got many more projects on the way. Peace out, guys. I love you all.